You are not going to jail. Well, actually, okay, I don't know you and I don't know what you've done. If you do, I suppose, if you've been embezzling from your employer, or if you have bodies under your bed, or, there's some illicit drugs in your basement, or, all kinds of not so nice stuff, you may be going to jail. Not a lawyer, so I can't advise you there, but you may want to do some cleaning up and reorganizing of your life. However, when it comes to debts, you're not going to jail. Now, why am I mentioning this? I don't know if it's unique to my office, but I can tell you, I just looked because I do track this. But I can tell you this year, 91% of all the clients I've had are not from Canada. They were not born here. Come from all kinds of countries. They come from Asia, they come from Europe, they come from South America, Africa. They name the continent other than Antarctica. There may be one. It's kind of a different fella. That's something else. Anyways, they come from these different countries, and it turns out, I didn't know this for the longest time, but I could never figure out why some of my clients were so scared when they met me. And, people get nervous when they're in debt. It does keep you up at night. It's concerning. It's awful to have people harassing you, calling your work, sending you letters. Getting letters from lawyers is never pleasant. But I couldn't understand, why are my clients so petrified sometimes, and why do they keep asking me, Zach, am I going to jail? And I'd look at them and I'd say, no. Oh, okay. They go about it, and sure enough, it would come up again. Now, you're sure I'm not going to jail? And again, no. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure this out. And then I found out one particular nationality, which, just due to geography, I have a lot of clients from this one particular country. Finally, one day someone said to me, well, where I come from, if you bounce a check, you go to prison. I said, seriously? And he said, well, yeah, you got about 30 days, then they issue a warrant for you, then they come after you, you go to jail. And I couldn't believe it. But it hit me, it's like, oh, no wonder everyone's so scared. They honestly think they're going to jail. So what's the purpose of this video? It's not that intricate, I suppose, guys, but you're not going to jail for debt. Debt is what's known as a civil matter. It's not a crime, okay? A crime would be something like murder, stealing, fraud, things like that. These are things you can go to jail for. A debt is a civil matter. You have an agreement with someone to borrow money, and you agree to pay them back. If you're not paying them back, or you're unable to pay them back, you're not holding up your end of the bargain, but that's a civil matter. It's an argument, so to speak. I'm trying to keep this in layman's terms best I can. Some people would say that's a tort. Some people would say, well, that's contract law. You call it whatever you want. It's a disagreement. So that's why ultimately when creditors are seeking remedies, they're doing what I mentioned in a previous video, which is they're sending letters, they're sending, they're calling you, they're taking you to court, civil court, not criminal court. They're trying to get judgments so they can put liens on properties, writs on properties, or they're trying to garnish. That's a civil matter. So you don't go to jail for this. Now, I also mention this because something I have seen in the communities I deal with is people will have loans with individuals or people who, maybe they're just known as lenders, aka sharks. And they'll say, well, Zach, I borrowed money from this guy, and he told me if I don't pay him back, he's calling the cops. To which I say, okay. usually I usually get an incredulous response like, did you hear what I said? He's going to call the cops. And I say, yeah, so? I say, do you want to know what the cops are going to tell him? They say, well, no, what are they going to tell him? They're going to come arrest you, right? I said, the cop's going to say, what do you want me to do about this? There's nothing he can do. It's a civil matter. The cop may say, did he steal the money from you? Like, did he take your wallet out, remove the money, put it in his pocket, put your wallet back together, put it back in your pocket? Did that happen? Well, no. Did he reach into your bank account? Did he commit fraud online? Did he hack your account? Did he steal your bank card? Well, no, I loaned him the money. Sorry, civil matter. So you're not going to jail. Okay, if you owe on your credit card, you owe a loan, even taxes, guys. Funny enough, you're not going to jail for owing taxes. You can go to jail for not doing your taxes, for not filing. You can go to jail for, again, fraud or tax evasion. Okay, evasion is not paying. Evasion is, doing things to avoid paying taxes. It's a fine line, but in this case, if you just can't afford to pay your taxes, it's not so much evasion. You just can't afford to pay it. You're insolvent. But funny enough, you don't go to jail for that either. Okay, you don't go to jail for not paying your car loan. You don't go to jail for not paying your overdraft. These are debts, and they can be dealt with through restructuring, through just paying your creditors, or trying to settle your debts. All right. So one more time, just because I know some people need to hear it 17 times, you're not going to jail. All right. Don't kill anyone. It's a good idea.